Hello, welcome to the Chris Davis Show. I'm your host, Chris Davis, and today we're going to talk about the movie Wonder Woman. So this is a movie review of Wonder Woman. If you haven't seen the film, please click off this video because there is going to be a huge spoiler warning. Okay, so if you don't want to hear any spoilers, please go ahead and click off this video. Now with that being said, let's get into the film. Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman was an amazing film. I have to agree that it is the best film that has come out of the DCU so far. It is the best with 96% on Rotten Tomatoes. That's above Captain America Civil War. That's above the first Iron Man. It truly deserves the 96% it has on Rotten Tomatoes. It is an amazing film. Now, while it is better than the previous three, I don't think that the previous three is as bad as the critics have made it out to be. I liked Man of Steel a lot. I liked Suicide Squad. To me, it wasn't as terrible as the critics made it sound. I think the worst of them all is Batman v Superman, and I just think that it may be the worst, especially in fans' eyes, is because it was rushed. They were trying to set up their whole movie universe with just one film, and it didn't really work out when Marvel had been putting out their whole entire universe by one film at a time over an expansion of 8 years. Right? But with that said, let's just talk more about Wonder Woman. Alright, the first scene was epic. It was beautiful. I liked the scenery at the Themyscira. It looked really nice. It was really good to get a backstory on Wonder Woman. I really liked the fight scenes in this film. How they were fast and then they slowed down. Gal Gadot did an excellent job as Wonder Woman. When they first casted her, I was thinking that, man, they made a mistake. They're just rushing things through. They should have gone with some other actresses. They should have chosen Gina Carano. She's an expert MMA fighter. Plus, she's dated Henry Cavill, so she would have great chemistry with him. But Gal Gadot surprised me. She did an amazing job, like as Wonder Woman. I thought first she was too skinny, but she did an amazing job. Like she did an excellent job as Wonder Woman. Chris Pine, who plays Steve Trevor, he had great chemistry with Gal Gadot, with Wonder Woman. Those two had an excellent chemistry together. I like the plot or the story plot around them. Now let me talk a little bit more about the story. Okay, so Wonder Woman, or Diana, she starts off with this positive ideal of the world, like the world is good and stuff, and the Amazons around her are like, well, it's just not that simple. And Diana figures that out like the hard way, unfortunately, when she goes back out into the outside world with Steve Trevor, and she learns that the world isn't so black and white. There are some moral gray areas. I think the biggest thing where she saw that was in the general's room. Like she complained that the general shouldn't be sitting behind their desk hiding, but should be out there in the front lines fighting with their fellow soldiers, and she thought that they were cowards for it. Another instance where I believed her eyes were open was when Steve Trevor and his friends were just going to ignore the people crying for help and focus on their objectives. But Wonder Woman stopped and helped all the women and children, and even got past the no man's zone, which none of the allies could get through for one whole year, but she practically did it maybe 10 or 15 minutes on her first try. So it was truly amazing. I also liked the ending scene with Ares. I was so certain It was the German guy, the German general who was Ares. I mean, he knew about ancient Greece. He was a warmonger. He just wanted instant war. He didn't want a peace treaty with the Allies. Um, but the Ares wasn't the German general. He was the British general working with Steve Trevor all along. He was pretending to be nice when in reality he was actually something else. So that really shocked me. I mean, I was surprised. Even when Diana walked in the general's room, the British general's room, for the first time, they all stopped to take a look at her, and he looked at her. I just thought that he looked at her because she was a woman and she wasn't supposed to be in there. Not that he found that, not that he knew that she was Wonder Woman. So yes, so very good plot twist, very good plots. I really enjoyed this film. This film had a very good story, very good acting, very good action in it. The boss fight was amazing, and that's what you want with these superhero films. You want very strong like boss battles, all right, or very strong like villains, all right. You don't want the villains necessarily to be pushovers. You want strong like villains, like with Superman. You want him to fight someone who he can punch. You don't necessarily want it to be like Superman returns and he's up against Lex Luthor. Then he has to lift up a mountain of kryptonite. You don't want that. You want something. You want a villain where you want a villain where the heroes like can hit. All right, especially someone like Superman, Wonder Woman. You want to give them a villain that they can like hit and go all out against. All right, so that's all we have for today. I really enjoyed the film. Let me know what you thought about it in the comment section below, and all of you have a great day.